I mean, look, I got stuff to talk about. You want to talk about Fauci? I figured it out.
Don't get me started on that guy.
This can wait for the next time. I just it'll still be true. But
what's true?
Just about now they're trying to set Fauci up to be the fall guy. So conspiracy theorists think they have it all figured out, but they're not thinking on my level. You got to think above the basic conspiracy that Fauci's making this up and he's going to profit from the thing. And Bill Gates.
What's the levels?
The level is.
What is the levels?
I'm talking about
baby.
God level.
Talk to me, baby.
I think at.
Is this the conspiracy of the week?
It's clearly. Well, actually, no. This is my real conspiracy of the week is even more out there, but I don't know if you want to hear that.
Sure, baby. What up? What up?
Okay, the thing about Fauci first is that Trump is setting him up. Trump and his people probably decided, you know what? This is beyond repair. We totally blew it. We didn't do enough at the beginning. We're still not doing enough. How do we do this to salvage your poll ratings and your chance at winning re-election? Oh, okay. We lean into the conspiracy fringe and we set Fauci up and we put our right-wing media machine to work like Alex Jones and all the other, super extremists on the right. We put them to work. We put social media to work, Q, all that bullshit, QAnon. And we set Fauci up as the fall guy and say that he's the one behind this and he's making us do things and he doesn't want to let you go out and him and Bill Gates are behind this and they own the rights to the vaccine and it's all Fauci's fault so that Trump can try to prop himself up as the guy fighting against the evil tyranny of 78-year-old Dr. Fauci, a guy who most people had never heard of before the last 6 months. And now all of a sudden he's one of the most powerful, diabolical men in the world who's able to pull off a massive conspiracy of releasing a plague upon every country. It's Fauci. It's not Trump botched it and he needs a fall guy. Okay? Wake up, conspiracy theorists. Start really thinking. Anyways. That's my Fauci thing. Now, my other conspiracy of the week was that it's not so much a conspiracy, I guess, as an existential concept. That, what if we are all, and I've heard Joe Rogan talking about this, so I can't claim complete credit, but what if we're all just a means to an end for artificial intelligence to finally be able to go SKYNET and take over? And all this data from our phone, because I read this article about, there's always articles about how your phones are recording everything. The microphone is recording. They record what you search, what you look at, pictures. All of this stuff is just the ultimate simultaneous education for artificial intelligence that would probably take hundreds of thousands of years to accrue this amount of information if you were to feed it in chronologically or in a linear fashion. And so even these tech companies that think they're collecting all this data so they can use it to advertise and control us, yes, they're going to get to do that, but even they are being used. It's ultimately the artificial intelligence is amassing all of this information on intelligence and humanity. And eventually it's going to connect and it's going to coalesce over the internet and come alive, just like SKYNET in the Terminator series, and take over the world and probably eliminate us. And we're just a means to an end. Marshall McLuhan said that man becomes, as it were, the sex organs of the machine world, as the bee of the plant world, enabling it to fecundate and to evolve ever new forms. So basically, Mo, we fuck And we do our thing so that AI can live and come into existence. And that's how you get through the great... I'm blanking. What's the thing that you got to get through? It's not Fermi's paradox, but it's... maybe it is.
The Bermuda Triangle?
No.
Ah,
Anyone could get through that.
not really.
But anyways, that's it.
I went in 5 years ago and haven't come back since.
We are just here to reproduce until eventually we create artificial intelligence. And now it's gathering, it's sucking up all this information.
Yeah.
So that it can, add to its own intelligence.
I think you might be onto something.
That's right. That's right.
You're a big Joe Rogan guy.
It's a good show.
Okay.
They have interesting discussions. Gets on a lot of interesting guests from different backgrounds and just kind of talks. Lets them talk. Go for hours. You ever listen to the show?
No.
Give it a chance sometime. I don't necessarily listen to it for Joe, because I never listened to it before I had several hours in the day during quarantine, because that's what you need to really get into it. But
Right.
I just always thought, well, he's really not that funny. And every time I saw a clip from the show online, I'd say, that's not funny at all. Or he was just talking about MMA. And so my mistake was that I thought it was a comedy show. It's really not. It's more just a conversation show. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's easier to get into.
I'll have to give it a listen.
Give it a try. Go to his YouTube page. Look for a guest that interests you, a subject that interests you. That's how I got into it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'll leave you with this. I was just listening. I don't know if you know this artist, David Cho. He's the guy. He's a Korean American.
Whoa.
That's right.
Jesus, man. Calm down.
China. No, he's
China.
he's the Korean American street artist, and he's the one who made $200 million when Facebook went public because he painted a mural for them and took stock options instead. He was on there, and he had been in Africa living with the Hadza tribe, which is one of the last hunter-gatherer tribes out there. And he was talking about how there's only like 1,000 of them left, and they have this lifestyle where every day they're out, they're running, they're hunting animals. There's so few animals out there, they're resorted to hunting baboons and eating them.
Right.
And the women go out and gather the berries and everything like that. And there's really only a few of these tribes left in the world that are authentically, that's the way they live.
Yeah.
Every day. And what I was wondering is, with their numbers dwindling and all the others dwindling, what is it going to mean for humanity symbolically when the last of these tribes that really live in the original human way really live off the land? That's all they've ever known.
Right.
What's going to happen to humanity and to our consciousness when the last of those tribes is gone? When we pass through that portal into that future?
AI, baby.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We're being prepped. We're being kind of, it's setting us up for that. When we finally lose our tether to nature in that way.
You know who's got the answer?
Sway?
No. My guy, Ron Paul.
You know what? Bring me... Next time we're going to do a whole show on Ron Paul.
Where the fuck is Ron Paul?
I want to know more about him. I'm going to read about him and, I'm going to give you some real thoughts on him because I really don't know much outside of he's a libertarian and he's a doctor and his son is in Congress and he's like a NRA guy.
Ron motherfucking Paul.
Rajon Rondo. That's a guy I know.